Hey guys, hello and welcome to Zen Innovations. And guys, in the past video, we've talked that if for some reason your Tata Safari is not starting with the key remote, or if this remote is not being registered with the factory immobilizer, how to register that and how to start the vehicle and at least reach home. So if you still haven't seen that video, then you can find that video over here in the I button or in the description below. And there's one more important thing that I told you in that particular video, that even after following the procedures shared in that particular video, if the remote does not work properly with your Tata Safari, then you may need to change the cell or the battery which is there inside this little remote key fob. So today I have this little key fob, and I also have this battery. So let's quickly get to it. Let's open this remote and let's replace the battery. Let's go, guys. All right, guys, so we are on the workbench and we are absolutely ready to replace the remote cells in this particular key fob. So what you will need a 4-way screwdriver like this one, and plus of course you will need the cells, the actual replacement batteries itself. Now there are two things that I'd like to tell you about these cells. The first thing is that there are absolutely a lot of fakes in the market. So you go ahead, you buy them, and then they don't work. The second problem is having a lot of expired cells or near expiry cells being sold online and offline. And believe me, guys, I ordered actually 4 or 5 packets of these things, and I had to return almost all of them because they were as good as almost expired in my hands. So thankfully today I have 2027 expiry. That is the latest kind of cells that you can buy. And these are what we are going to install in the key fob remote today. If you want to buy these cells, then I'll try to provide a buying link in the description for you. Just be careful when you receive them. Make sure you get the right kind of model number, that is 27A, and make sure that the expiry date is 2027 or even beyond. Of course, you want your remote to work for at least 3, 4, or 5 years, right? All right, with that done and said, let's go ahead and actually go forward to install this particular cell inside the remote. So here is how this little baby looks. Let me move all the extra stuff out of the way. And yes, you have to remove the actual metal key. So the thing would be over here. You just have to undo it and move it out of the way. And here what we'll be left with is this bare remote, and I can see that there are 3 screws. So let's quickly start undoing them, and you guys enjoy this music. Okay, with the screws removed, as my remote is particularly new, it has no rust or something like that. But if your remote has rust, then you can use a blast of WD-40 on it. That should help clear the rust, and then you will be able to remove the screws from your key fob. And here the matter is just to take them apart like that. The 2 halves of the remote come apart, and inside we can see this beautiful circuitry. So here is a gasket or a rubber o-ring to prevent the ingress of moisture. The actual skeleton, the actual PCB circuit board, can come apart like that, and it can be separated from the key fob. So here is how it looks. Let's take a look at the polarity. So at the front there will be the positive terminal. Let me line up this old cell for you so that you can understand. So here we can see that this is the positive terminal in the front side, and towards the rear side, that is towards my right hand, we have the negative terminal. And here is how the default cell looks inside this remote. So now what we have to do, simply swap it over, right? So 3, 2, 1, and here goes the new cell. You don't want to take a lot of time because sometimes there will be immobilizer codes or something stored inside these remotes, and if you keep the battery out for too long, they may get erased. Now I have not suffered this kind of problems, but for your car it may happen. So just swap it very quickly, and then you want to verify that the remote actually works, because yes, the worst thing is that you put everything back and then you find out that the remote is not working for your car. So even this bare skeleton should be able to unlock your car. So here you can go ahead and check it out. Now let's put this remote back in its shell, and let's start putting all of the pieces back. So this skeleton PCB, this green thing, is going to go in first. Make sure you align all of those buttons and all of the places where it is supposed to go. You can see that the indicator LED is working, which shows that the remote is working. Here goes the next half of this remote back, and just make sure to inspect this o-ring. You don't want any cuts or creases, or if the o-ring is not in proper position, then you'll have a lot of moisture ingress inside the remote, and that is going to kill it pretty quickly. So here I am done with the next half of the remote. There are these 3 screws over here, and I'm going to just install them. You guys enjoy the fast forward. All right, with that done and said, the remote is now absolutely ready. It is ready to go on its duty to accompany you on the trips. What I'm going to do is install this key, the actual metal key of the car, and then we should be able to go towards the car and actually check if it starts or not. And here that is done. Let's go to the car and let's see if the engine cranks on or not. Guys, welcome to Extra Content, and this is the old cell, if you remember, which we removed from the Tata Safari key fob. And I was curious to see that what kind of voltage did this old cell come down to. For this thing, we are going to use this little clamp meter. If you want to buy good quality meters like this, then a lot of buying links will be waiting for you in description below. You can go ahead and check it out. So I have already put this on a DC voltage, and let's see what kind of readings we get here. So this is the negative probe, the negative terminal, and here goes the positive terminal, and the cell is down to 5 or 6 volts, guys. That is how low it came. The original specification of this cell is 12 volts, and there's no chance this kind of battery or this cell is going to work. So that is it for this little video, guys. I hope you liked it. Take care and have a nice day.